Mama never Asem PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. Osia dem yopo.
Akuffo Addo today made it clear and categorical. Akuffo Addo and the Oban enum kan or say, send your word to private schools if you can afford, or say, so what's the for back of a private school or on the free SHS no you ready so be review. What? We Jimmy Mwe. Yeah, catch and say on review no say on yeah. Now mo Ghana for now mo kasa too much Jimmy for no massa. Oba was free SHS now see onye duane India ko yiniko private school. You see the attitude of a tortoise. You see how a tortoise behaves. Atichidie we me catch them say we Jimmy. Onimi nyansa. He just came to power because we are foolish. And the Akuffo Addo be Ghana for we catch them say. So oba of free SHS. Na so ye de we Ghana for mu ye de mobile free SHS no. Massa mo fa mu Jimmy nkoda baby. Mo pa mo koyi mo banko private school na do danko Akuffo Addo. And the oni na ebie na no aka sa Asem na kire mo. And the Oko Ghana Bar Association. He was bold. I didn't know bold because there's a group, a foolish group from the foolish masses of Jimmy. I try be Jimmy omo de oyo de also the appointee be to come to am people no. Akuffo Addo who say mo Jimmy. We use him for 8 years. Atichidie we hu say mo ye moa. On say aka 2 months, 3 months no out of power. Or say free SHS no. Mo amomba wona mo complain say duane ni ho enye papa no. Mo fa mo Jimmy nko no wana mo koyi mo ban free ho. And the Akuffo Addo. Sa Jimmy na nenum ne hwinmu hwenro. We na all pachaw. We na all catch us or sremo try me. We na ka say oh the battery is the Lord. Mo hwe nyame anim on atichidi we nkwasa asem ndo ka mo. We hu se mo Jimmy. We hu se mu dodo no. Sa mu dodo no akamfo dodo no mo Jimmy. Into use mu no dem je power. Na isi anu age power na wie. Se and he is going to use the police to kill you more. Intende otumie bold Akuffo Addo we na okuta kenten ene nam kejetia se we de osremu yibima Akuffo Addo se onyame na de na eba kwase ampanyi na ka kire mo se we de the battery is the Lord na do danko Akuffo Addo we ene na hwinu mu hwendro wa ye bypass too or say mon try no ende o ka kire mo se wo ya Ghana ni na oba e free SHS na won tia se o complain afa o Jimmy ko yi no na wa akotua fees or private Akuffo Addo. Achichidie no modern ba fie na modern beto eye money box mu mo soro no pa instead se be mana haban awe no sa achichidie oboba na modern beto kenten mu ofie anopa nka achichidie de nko twitwa tomatoes kakra gu ni nchen watwitwa eye garden s na ono ankasa kakra wawe mo ba ya rambebu com beef betu mu ena mubu meat pie kakra to nchen ena mo sa ye chocomilo ena mudi si nchen na mujama achichidie no kenten mu se achichidie no wadane dada bi wo hu se mo Jimmy intende mo ba na mo de tomatoes ene garden eggs nya adoa ne ade gu kenten mu so ndi achichidie de ka jem se nkwasiafo mo nkonko fa tampi ko mre no onom achichidie we na mo de be hye kenten mu e ka je se we de ne hodwo achichidie we de oya gove oya jibijibi kura we de ne hodwo achichidie we de obu Ghana for ende bo nwara achichidie no ka kire mo wasay mo future now imagine obi an back of free SHS and bewu papa ya ne bako wu wo eye de ebri girls nkofo ya ende ya wo mo masekan omo ma ende mu nyaduane ndi wo school Akuffo Addo gina Ghana ka kire mo say wo awofo na wo gini di ye say ne free SHS be solve problem nyina no o say we complain ya ende sebio kofa wo ba no na fa kwase afa no ko private school because ono de obetima na ya ma wo no na do danko Akuffo Addo brofo na wa ka kire mo no Samo pe. Say you see Jimmy, yensu nyansa. Ya ma politicians Jimmy for no mo Jimmy ye and Akuffo Addo say. Mo amano de nendi amu kasa bebre no no ni review bia o. Do betima na waye no. So oba edi toilet kura mfa no ho, oni baby da mfa no ho. Mo mane bra munye din amonko for monko private school. Achichidie we na kasa Asem na kire mo. Enti onwa achichidie na mko fa na bae no. Sesi ayetia os achichidie we ko nwurem ofri kenten no ko nwurem wakofa ofuye di nechi ende achichidie na beka kire mo se oh ono de odi ofuye aba intesi ano no enche obewu nti monfa ofuye no ento kenten ende achichidie we akofa ofuye aba ba omia se ofuye we de ande nka mo sora no pa eno anse mo twam kontomire ama no ende master t video ofuye no master t man come beef master team ofui no eden awawai master team ofui no mo so na mo yi eden supeku na bobubu no ore na ada ofui no so begina ne na aso no be kire mu so wejimi ende akyekire na kofo ofui na ba o se ofui ni metoa so yetumufo amonte on de Akuffo Addo mu ba ahemfo okrom ha obi ayedin yenya atemdidie Akuffo Addo has insulted the intelligence of Ghanaians. This statement alone can you say MPP ba power biem me say akyekire na mo de beto kantemu na nka o se mo man ahaban we nanka ose mo man tomatoes raw man we no mo start bubu corn beef man di ye no sa akyekide na ende o ka chem so mabodam obekọ nwure makofo ofui na ba on sende osemo obeye ofui ni president na akyekide mpo na bohu so na ofui ode ofui ni ba na mo sa de mugimi to abanama ofui na ho na mo bohu de ebesi si atikrom ha mo mata akyekide na no yetia we will see obedi mo atem akopem so obewu na ono se de aka na mfa no ho ono se sia no Honestly, he does not care. He does not care. Can you forget about TV soon baby catch them say Omo Weskano from the beginning the monster started and go for say Jimmy and the Akuffo Addo Jimmy will catch them say Dean or say so about free SHS no nyeduane ni now we say sika too much na free SHS no while to say obano enkoye ne we de nyina say onyeduane wadani slave or see Yedin ultimi nyedin afa okwase afa no private school akyekide we na ekasa ase we akyere akyekide we infantifo be say akyekere dem akyekere ana oreka dem asem ya akyere akyekere ti there akyekere ye infantifo sa de kan dem akyekere sa tortoise we ende mohu we dim nyina matem he has nothing to lose and wakofo ofu ya bremo and ofu ni sori na osa ofu ya osa na ada na yemmeka no de bia ofu we sori na osa na okeka nkwasi asem na ada na yemmeka no onse ofu ni so akofa eyedien abo kokohwede edi nechi ofu ni so ko no so akofa kokohwede abedi nechi na po omo be jimi musa se mo jimi. Akuffo Addo has nothing to lose. Who has something to lose? Us. Anka 2020 nanka ye review free SHS we and nanka share structure in here and ye making sure say ejina ne nasuma ye see more schools man krenya baby ada anka chichiri kontumi nka demu mwasemo or kachiri ba ye jiminti no begin say oto aba manaye Kevin Taylor ya ogin say oto aba manaye Mahama ya on and achichiri ne say for kwase akoyi ni ko private school free SHS no betu an waye no achichiri. Now, what was our story way? Nana Danko Akuffo Addo, a year papa we friend Ajimendia, or see the loud silence of President Akuffo Addo is it's a concern. Ajimambedu, Mr. Ajimambedu, Papa Penyimokaino. Or see Akuffo Addo, Galam saying some this be a way dim or honey dear, a hard journey, hey. And I'm starting to Papa we can say we have to make sure the next government, you know, we don't I'll say we have to make sure say the next government, you know, we don't give the president too much power to elect the new electoral commissioner. MPP for almost strategy, I don't know. So see, I know they are going to blame the executive for everything. Into right now, what they are going to do is say almost started setting pace up. For they've started setting the pace up. They have started setting the grounds to go after John Mahama. Suddenly, oh, mami emfa 2 million nyina. We crap this is not the story I'm talking about. Mami emfa 2 million nyina emma the president to elect an electoral commissioner. Massa, let me tell you these old people in Ghana. And let me tell all you these people in Ghana walking around and saying, the presidency will give the executive too much power. Let me tell you something. It is the will to fight as a leader. It is the will to do what is right. We can take all the power from the president and give to the legislature. We will still see what we are seeing. The last time we showed video na kwacho fusu na oti program biswa news file omo kase the galamsey issue no NDC and MPP they have failed. And I know for Sukachi almost say, why are you bringing the NDC into this? We have a government that has everything in its possession. It has the military, it has the police, it has every security agency at its disposal. We have the president who is the head of the Ghana Army. We have the vice president who heads the police council. The president and the government, if they have the will to fight galamsey, it is not what the opposition will say. Send the NDC for mountain stage. What is the president today who has all the powers to change the destiny of this country? The vice president, who is now the leader of the party, what are they doing for the past 8 years? Because whatever the opposition says today about galamsey, it does not matter, because they don't have the executive power. They don't possess all the security agencies. They cannot instruct the military. They cannot instruct the police. They cannot instruct the immigration or the forestry department. It is the president and the vice president, the executive, that can do that. So the idea of you bringing NDC say about power, now they were involved in illegal mining in Ghana for now, in the wrong way, it has got nothing to do with the president's responsibility. We should not take that power from the president, because at the end of the day, anything you're afraid of the president of the republic, anything you're the vice president of the republic. That is why he is called Your Excellency. He has the power nobody has. He has the power John Mahama does not have. His power, his party has the power the NDC does not have. So you cannot make an excuse for the president to say the NDC and the MPP have failed Ghanaians when it comes to galamsey. The MPP government, led by Bawumia and Akuffo Addo, they have failed the fight against galamsey. Because you cannot tell me I'm in charge of this car. And they have been in charge of this car for the past 8 years. So why are you trying to make it look like, say, the galamsey fight, the whole, it is not NDC, it is the NPP. It is the will. Does the president and his vice, do they have the will to fight galamsey? That is the question. We can take all the executive power from the president and give to the legislature, parliament, and also give it to the judiciary. The question is, whoever gets that power, is the person willing to use that power to benefit the people? It is the will. So you saying, Professor Diandiaka say, Ajimaika say, we should not allow the president to elect an electoral commissioner. The question here is, the person who will elect the electoral commissioner, does he have the will to do the right thing? It is not about the president. Whoever you put there, is that person, does the person have the will to do the right thing? When the man who was there, they had the will. Does Jane Mensah have the will to declare the elections, to make sure he conducts the election free and fair? It is not about taking it, because when the president has that power and he elects even his sister, and the sister has the will to do the right thing, the president cannot influence the decision of the sister. It is the willingness to fight. Afarijan, thank you very much. It is the willingness to do the right thing. When John Mahama was president, was the will there to fight galamsey? Yes. How many Chinese did he deport? Over 5,000. Did he jail somebody? Yes. Was John Mahama trying to protect the water bodies? Yes. So it is the will. Does the president have the will? So don't tell me, say my president could EC bossa. It is Jane Mensah. Does she have the will to do the right thing? We need to look at these things, because whether you like it or not, the president needs to yield some power. He needs to have some power to make him the president. You cannot take everything away from the president and say the president just sitting there as a ceremonial president. He needs some power to make him the first gentleman of the land. So there are some things we cannot sit and say, let's scrape all the powers from the president, all because we think when the president makes decisions, that decision is not going to be clear. It is the people we are putting there. Because whether we like it or not, we will need to get somebody to fill a hole, to fill a position. Are the people willing? Are the people ready? Do they have the will to fight, to do the right thing? If you get somebody who does not have the will, because Akuffo Addo has never had the will to fight galamsey, he put his presidency on the line. Was the will there? No. That is what we are talking about here. So it is not about you people trying to, Professor Ajimamo and all those older guys. Let's take this from the president. Let's take this. Fine, I understand. The president has too much power. But we cannot always blame the presidency and say, because we have given an executive power to the president, we too cannot do the right thing. People who have been given, even civil servants who have been given jobs to do, at the end of the day, somebody has to do some job. Is the will there? Are we ready to let people understand that when they give them this job, there are consequences when they don't do the right thing? That is what we need to do. But this is the situation where people have done wrong in this country. People have led the military to shoot Ghanaians. People have led people to go to Yawa, West Wago to kill people. A commission was set up. The white paper has been thrown away. Is the will there? The will is not there. So you get rid of this president. You get somebody who is willing to fight Galamsey. Let me tell you, corruption, it does not matter who is in power. If the person does not have the will to fight corruption, you cannot do anything. You betum the years to Christo abedi Ghana so only the will. Say will need what to fight corruption. And yes, Christo will not do it. That is the issue. So we live in a country where, in the history of this republic, you have an electoral commissioner who has guards, military guards. What has she done wrong? What has she done wrong? Afarijan, Charlotte say, when did you ever see military men following Afarijan or Charlotte say? What has Jane Mensah done wrong? The conscience. Every single thing that she's done in that office has been wrong. She has always done the wrong thing. She doesn't have that will to conduct a free and fair election. That is the thing we need to tackle. Let's stop playing around. The willingness. The willingness to fight corruption, the willingness to do the right thing. Today, soldiers have become errand boys following Jane Mensah Kwasiabawi. Soldiers who are supposed to be taking care of this nation and protecting us. For 8 years, Kwasiabawi and your soldier for about 7, Edinechi. Who is paying these soldiers? Us. So why are you blaming and saying the next president should not elect the EC boss? The next president should. We need to get somebody who is willing. The same way Afarijan Dems were appointed, Charlotte Dems were appointed, and the will was there for them to make sure our elections was free and fair and transparent. In Kwasiaba, where you use police force cadet boys, and we sit in Ghana, we don't speak about it. What is making her feel her life is threatened in Ghana? How many military follow the president? For this dirty woman, way to get military at home, at office. A day in the Ecoso, it is because the president, the government, the whole MPP, the willingness to have a clear, clean elections. No, it is not there. The willingness to make sure the right thing is done is not there. That is what we're talking about. It is not about giving power to this person or giving power to that person. The willingness is there. The NPP, from Bawumia to Akuffo Addo, they don't have any will. Their willingness is not there to fight and make sure Ghana is a better place. That is the thing. Let's stop moving responsibilities. Let's stop shifting responsibilities. Let's stop making it look like it is one person who is causing the problem. It is the system. The issue is, are people willing to do the right thing? Are the leaders willing to do the right thing? Nana Addo Akuffo Addo, election 2020 ND, any reasonable president, if he's willing to make sure we Ghanaians, we settle down not to have an issue going into election 2024, Jane Mensah. Yeah. Nana Addo Akuffo Addo should have fired Jane Mensah, but the will is not there. He is not ready. It is not about Jane Mensah, because Jane Mensah or will not be at the papa na and can't do Akuffo Addo. So let's talk about the willingness to do the right thing. You, these old people, you need to start thinking. When I'm say Ghana, no, you always create room for politicians to destroy the system. We need to blame the right people. Fighting corruption is not about slogans. Fighting corruption is not about grammar. It's about the will. Do you have the will to fight corruption? Do you have the will to jail your own? John Mahama was able to jail his own because the willingness was there. He was ready to make sure if you commit that crime, the law has to deal with you. That is the willingness. Forget about the executive choosing the EC boss. When it comes to America, the president appoints a lot of people, but the will is there to diligently do their job. When they don't do it right, they are fired. That is how it works.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.